a lot of trauma as a child. I was abused. I was bullied in school. As a kid, I needed love from my parents, but I didn't receive. So all these started to come out and I couldn't express myself. E-commerce, it's taking off big time. If I can learn e-commerce, I can make millions. And as soon as we launched, first week we sold at 50,000 euros. Next month, 180. Third month, 200, 300, 400. Wow. We hit like 7 figures within 6 months.
Today's guest is an embodiment coach and co-founder of Arc of Sweden, who helps men break free from conditioning and reconnect with their authentic selves. This is Julius Rogonja.
Embrace imperfections. There is no self-made millionaire without failures, because these failures are the biggest lessons. Focus what you love to do, you will achieve success there. When it comes to building businesses, building success, don't overthink and just do it. The more you think, the less chance you're gonna do it.
All right, Julius. So instead of reading your bio, I would rather let you introduce yourself. Who are you and what do you do?
So my name is Julius, and I'm doing many things, to be honest. I try to do what I love to do, what aligns with my values in my life. And I started the brand e-commerce, Arc of Sweden, and this is my main thing, because this gave me a freedom to liberate myself from 9 to 5, and travel and freedom to do whatever I want. I do coaching on the side.
What kind of coaching?
I do teach mostly men, like guiding them through emotional intelligence, guiding them through embracing their natural state of confidence, helping to experience the present moment, because so many of us lives right here in our heads, so I help them to move into their hearts more. They usually overstimulate their lives, they're not processing their emotions. We've been taught like how emotions are weakness, through bullying, through sports, through playing different games. And we don't want to express our emotions, so we usually
men are supposed to that's how the society have programmed us to suppress our emotions. Yeah,
exactly. And also almost becoming a father. It's 7 weeks left. Wow. And I'm super excited about it.
Wow.
I'm married with my beautiful wife, and my wife is like my best friend. She's very into entrepreneurship. We have a company together, Arc of Sweden. We do it together. And also she does her DJing, she does her wellness events. She's super creative as well.
I mean, it sounds so interesting that you guys have this business on one side, but at the same time you have got this one thing or two things going on where you can just socialize, have fun, and something which interests you.
Exactly. I do feel like you always need to have fun, as you go in life. And I was in the past really struggling with social anxiety. I was struggling so bad that I couldn't express myself to a single person. Like if random person comes in the street, asks me, what time is it, or some direction, my nervous system got super stressed.
In the flight and fight mode.
Exactly. I freeze. I don't know how to answer. I feel so unauthentic. And then when I met Dina, she's completely opposite from me. She is super authentic, super confident, and her confidence kind of inspired me to be more confident in beginning, so it was just like, this is the person, this is I feel good around her. And then later, of course, down the line, because I had a lot of trauma as a child, I was abused, I was bullied in school. So all these started to come out, and I feel, I couldn't express myself again. Her confidence was always a guiding star for me. This is the level of authenticity and confidence I want to have, because she sometimes goes randomly, sees a group of people, she just goes herself, introduce, she has no fear at all. She can go see someone singing in the street, stand there next to it in front of hundreds of people and then sing together. I'm like, this is the level of confidence I want to have, and that
I've seen her 3 times so far now, including Kayan. Then there was this soul sessions, and every time I see, it's like she has this energy which makes other people happy. I'm like, dude, what is this? Exactly.
And that's for me was very inspiring, you know. So she really helped me to step up into my confidence, you know. Men, you know, as we said, you know, struggling with, you know, healing, with all that, they usually want to suppress their wives to kind of feel safe for them. You know, it's like, oh, you're being too loud. Oh, don't go to introduce yourself to that group of people, you know, because I need to challenge myself to put myself out there. But for me, I'm like, I love that. You know, go do more, be more of yourself. You know, it's inspiring. You know, I rather do my inner work to catch up. You know, because I want to be at that top, you know, of confidence. It took me years, of course, but now I do feel like, you know, I entered this like at the level that I feel so good about myself, you know, and it's really, really thanks to her.
I've rarely seen a man talking so highly about their wife. Like, I mean, I can see it on your face how excited you are to talk about your wife, man. That's really inspiring.
Yeah, I think it's a teamwork, you know, like your wife and you need to become your best friend. There might be some things that you don't want to say it, but the thing is, you need to become vulnerable with your wife. You know, you need to become vulnerable. You need to let her know sometimes how you feel, because we tend to keep it, you know, inside, you know, and that suppresses, that closes our hearts, that brings us into our head. Just verbalize it. Somebody holds the space for you, you know, and it helps you, you know. And then like I'm all about, you know, the divine union. Like once you feel so safe about your wife, you can just be whatever, you know. You can just sing out loud, you can dance out loud, you can like not performing, it just like somebody's there, understands you, you know. Oh, this guy being in his own, you know, inner child zone.
So you mentioned that in child you were being abused, and when you became a man, you outgrow that part of you. How did that feel like?
It was something that like kind of suppressed my expression. I saw this on my one breathwork journey, where it's like this is the trauma that I'm having, you know, how I wanted to receive love from my parents, and but I had the fear, because I was something wrong we make, because I had a little bit ADHD, you know, and my parents wanted me to do good in school, and I was struggling in school, you know, because I didn't know that by that time that like I had ADHD.
Like all other kids.
Exactly.
I mean, so many of us, even I do have some kind of ADHD, and I was not good at the academics.
Exactly. And it was sometimes like I was studying so much, reading like for days to prepare for some history test. And then when the history test came, you know, I'm like not failing, but not doing good. And then my parents was punishing me for that. And I was just so hard about myself that I can't learn, you know, and like what's wrong with me and everything. I also have a twin brother. He's identical, you know. And me and him, when we were growing up, we were a little bit wild, you know. So, you know, we end up sometimes fighting, sometimes breaking things, and then we'll also get punished for that. Yeah, but there was so many times that, like, as a kid, I needed love from my parents, but I didn't receive. And then, like, I end up, like, kind of wearing a masks, you know, to pretend I'm a good boy. So to receive my parents' love, and that followed me further in life. You know, I had so much people pleasing, you know, and pretending, and that like I'm someone else, just wanted to that approval from people. So
that validation everywhere you go.
Exactly. Yeah,
and I think whenever it's two brothers, they always create chaos around them, because I also have an elder brother. And every time after coming back from school, we would just start wrestling in a fun way, which would convert in a serious wrestling, and I would end up crying every time.
He's the older one.
My brothers. I have an elder brother.
So he got the most takes. He was punished all the time.
But you have a brand in health and wellness sector. So why did you end up choosing health and wellness?
To be honest, very random.
Yeah?
Very random. First of all, I've never ever even thought I'm gonna own a supplement brand. Never even thought about it. This idea just came from nowhere, and we just reacted. Prior to that, I was a barber. You know, I was one of the most famous barbers in Sweden.
Oh, wow.
I had like a lot of celebrities. I had people coming from different countries getting a haircut from me. It's super expensive as well. At some point was my passion, I turned it into profession. But since I'm 2 meters tall, my back started to hurt, and I'm like, and I also have a scoliosis, so it's like I just like couldn't stand anymore on my legs. And I remember it was Corona times that my clients stopped coming, and I'm like, my business going down, and I started to get anxiety, and I wanted to open my barber shop at the same time, but like my clients are not coming. What should I do? And I'm just like, okay, I'm not gonna do nothing. I'm just gonna pause. And then one time my friend came to get a haircut, and he told me how his business got better during Corona, because he has a cleaning company, and during Corona, like everybody wants to just hire clean offices and all that. I'm like, there are businesses that are doing good during Corona. So it caught my attention. I came back home. I started to do research. What businesses are going good during Corona? And that's where I found e-commerce. It's taking off big time, because people are in lockdowns and they're trying to kind of, buy stuff online, and they were forced to do that. When I started to like dig in deeper, I'm like, okay, what should I sell and everything? And then I started to go on YouTube, like watch about e-commerce. And then I watched like how one guy made millions from that product, other guy made millions from that product, 10 millions from that. I'm like, if I can learn e-commerce, I can make millions.
That's right.
And I got so obsessed with that idea that I'm like, you know what? By the end of the year, I'm going to quit my barbering and I'm going to be working on e-commerce.
Wow.
That promise I gave to myself, and I just felt it immediately. Down the line, I kind of got first idea what we want to launch. Start with like blue light blocking glasses, because I watched some sleeping doctor trying to, promote how blue light blocking glasses helps to improve your sleeping.
Yeah.
And I tried to order in Sweden. I couldn't find any brand. I'm like, here's a gap in the market.
Yes.
I can start with this. And so this one was my first idea, and I was, instead of working 5 days a week as a barber, I cut down to 3 days, and then I started just like learn on YouTube, everything on YouTube, marketing and everything. We launched the brand in October, and it was super slow. But at the same time, we got idea of to do arc drops. And one of my friends showed a similar product, how it exists, and it contains peppermint. And I knew that peppermint is so good for the breathing, because I was into breathing so much, like doing breathworks and everything, because I know that the footballers puts like on their chest to increase their breathing.
Right.
And here's like a same product, but you can take it orally as well. So as soon as I saw this idea, like it took us like 3 months to launch Arc of Sweden. We launched in February, and when it came to November, because since I promised that I need to quit my job in the end of year, I started to get anxious. I'm like, this brand with glasses doesn't go good, and I'm giving up my my barbering, all my career, I was so good, and what if this fails? And I started to get so much anxiety, like all the motivation that I had in April is gone. But somehow in my awareness just popped up the book Think and Grow Rich. I was never into reading, but I heard about this book somewhere, and I just remember, maybe I should try. So I found this online. I started to listen. I came back home. I lying down on the floor. My back was hurting, and I'm just listening. And honestly, this book was exactly what I needed in that moment. It was like a music for my ears. It woke up the belief in me, my motivation. Doesn't matter, whenever my business starts, I'm gonna quit my job in the end of the year. And then end of the year came. I quit my job. I was even more anxious. But then, we were kind of preparing for Arc of Sweden and everything. Then 2 weeks before we launching the brand, we started to post reactions, how we're giving people to try our product, and those reactions started to just take off to millions views.
Wow.
People starting to sign up for the pre-launch and everything. We collected over 2,500 leads, and as soon as we launched, first week we sold it for like 50,000 euros. Like the month ended, we had like 140,000. Next month, 180. Third month, 200, 300, 400. We hit like 7 figures in first half months. The brand went crazy all over
Amazing,
the world.
man.
The world.
Yeah.
It also for the breathing, it fits perfectly in biohacking
Yeah.
space.
Yeah.
And then we have another product that is for breathing, for focus, for energy levels. You know, we optimizing the products that are good for increasing your natural energy.
But this is how universe works in your favor. When you're aligned, everything just works out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I remember when I saw those videos, people making millions online from different products, it just sparked something in me. And I never was in any manifestation.
Yeah.
I was just seeing a vision of myself
Mm.
quitting my barbering job and earning millions.
Mm.
Like that was my obsession. And since I was doing breathworks, I was just doing every single day, and I saw my vision even clearer and clearer. It's like, this is happening.
Yeah.
I don't know what's like, this is happening.
Yeah.
You know, but it's all was magic for me.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
at the same time, I was a little bit skeptical. Somehow tend to numb that part of myself. You know, that this is like is gonna happen.
Yeah.
And if ever whoever told me that like don't quit your barbering and everything, like your business, like don't be delusional, I'm gonna prove it to you. If I was like that, I'm gonna prove it to you. This
So you
brand is gonna
were-
make millions.
Yeah. So you kind of blocked the negative talks
Yeah.
and people who were trying to hold you back by their limiting beliefs.
Yeah.
And you were like, no, I'm
Yeah.
gonna make it happen.
Yeah, because I saw this vision so clearly. It made me, instead of believing,
Yeah.
but I went into knowing. I know this brand is gonna scale. You know, I know I'm gonna make millions from
Yeah.
that brand. Like especially this book, like Think and Grow Rich,
Yeah.
it just reawakened my belief to the next level.
Yeah.
You know.
Thanks so much for mentioning the book by Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich. Guys, you should also read this book. So
Bible.
Yeah, man, it's a Bible. So whoever I meet who I find in this transitioning phase where they're trying to quit their job and start something of their own, I always suggest them that, guys, you should
Yeah.
read this book.
Yeah.
It'll change your life.
This book got me into manifestation, basically.
Yeah.
You know, it's all about believing so deeply about your idea
That's
that you have. When you believe in something, it makes you to take the aligned action towards your decision.
Yeah.
You know, like all these reactions, you know, we went to Africa, we like randomly I saw one like a Maasai, you know, dressing up like a warrior.
Yeah.
Like I came to him, it's like, bro, I need you to try my product and I want to film this reaction.
Yeah.
And I did it, you know, and I made such a reaction. Even today, if I repost this reaction, it gets millions views.
Wow.
You know, like this guy looks like a proper African
Yeah.
like warrior, you know.
Yeah.
And in total, this reaction got over 400 million views.
Oh my God.
You know, this guy become famous without knowing.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm just hoping he started his own channel.
No, he's like I don't think even has a social media because he looks super local, you know,
Yeah.
in Africa, in Tanzania.
Okay, so for our listeners, I mean, why should they listen to your story today?
Well, because I proved many times that you don't need to have any like studies, you know, universities degrees to live your best life,
Yeah.
to earn a lot of money, you know, to do whatever you want. Like even when I was a barber, like I never went to barbering school. You know, I learned everything from YouTube.
Wow.
This is the best part about my ADHD. I was so obsessed about like styling and everything. I watch YouTube videos every single day, like at 2 p.m. until like 11, you know, it's from 2 p.m. until 11 p.m.
Yeah.
And I was just like how people fading and everything. And I learned so many different techniques that like when somebody, you know, cuts a haircut, you know, you can mess up. So
Yeah.
you have multiple ways how to fix it. But when you go to school, you learn one way how to cut hair. And then most people just end up using this way, one way all the time.
That's right.
But I learned so many different ways how to style. I had many people I was watching. So that's why for me it became like an obsession, you know, and I watch top people, you know, not like some random teacher in a school, you know, who just knows the basics.
And I mean, school system doesn't teach you how to fail better.
Exactly.
They're just trying to make you a corporate slave.
Yeah.
And what I learned through tennis is because I never had a really good coach who would guide me in the right direction. But when I kept on failing again and again, and now I'm teaching tennis here. Those failures, now when I connect connect the dots,
Yeah.
I see that I have found solution to all the problems I had back then, and
Yeah.
now I can fix any problem in just 15 minutes.
Yeah.
So those
Exactly.
failures,
Exactly.
it's for good.
Exactly. Like
Yeah.
even though my first e-commerce brand with the glasses, blue light blocking glasses
Yeah.
failed,
Yeah.
you know, to be honest, it didn't fail. Since Arc of Sweden took off, I'm just like, the money's there, you know. But like I had to invest like 20,000 euros to start somewhere
That's right.
in order to like get the $1 million idea.
That's right.
20,000, you know, I lost it basically. I have still so many glasses left, you know, that's probably never gonna sell.
Yeah.
But you know, the lesson there was such a big, you know, failing and everything. Like I've done some wrong investments, you know. I invested like over $100,000 to one company as well in Thailand, and even that like failed, you know. And this failure, it didn't break me. Where there's a lot of money, you know, it didn't break me. It's just like I was too delusional, because you know, when I reached like a level where I had a lot of money, I'm like, okay, what does rich people do now? You know, they invest. You know, they do investments and everything. And I end up buying crypto. I end up buying like investing there. I was just spending money like this, and then eventually, like, I lost so much. You know, because the belief system needs to upgrade.
That's right.
And in that moment, I was just went from zero to here, having a lot of money. And what does people do? And the part of me that still felt poor, not good enough, it was still there. So that's why I sabotaged myself, being at the top, and I lost a lot of money. But when you are here, the belief system needs to always upgrade.
That's right.
You know, you need to believe the next one, the next one, the next one, you know, instead of trying to, oh, here, you know, I master my life, you know, so here I'm going to do it. While the inner child there feels still not good enough.
So you need to acknowledge that first, and then keep on growing your belief system. But I mean, I totally agree with you what you said, that failure is not there to suppress you.
Yeah.
Or you just stop doing whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
Failure is there so that you can reflect on where you are lacking and then just keep on getting better.
Exactly. And it's still every single day, these losses that I've had still teaching me something, you know, like, because I do love coaching. I do love, you know, inner work and everything, and learning, studying about myself. I still remember something every single day, you know, because these failures are the biggest lessons.
That's right.
You know, there's no failure. They're only lessons. You know, that's how we should call it.
Yeah, and if you just reflect and work on them, your life will keep on jumping upwards.
Yeah. 100%.
So you're about to become a father, Julius. Has that changed how you think about yourself and your identity?
100%.
Yeah.
When I find out that she's pregnant, some part of me most part was like super excited, you know, because we wanted to have kids one day.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, I'm not ready, you know, like all my plans, you know, now needs to be included one more person. But at the same time, you have 9 months.
Yeah.
You have 9 months to make it ready. And when you have 9 months, you kind of skip all the bullshit and you do exactly what you need to do. You know, like you take the steps, like procrastination doesn't exist anymore. You just fully commit, you know, to what you need to do. And we end up like preparing ourselves. We have a beautiful place to live, you know, we have a beautiful car we bought, you know, family car.
Yeah.
And our business started to get better. I'm hiring people to like outsource what I'm doing, you know, so I can have more free time with my kid. It's so much time was to prepare, you know. And at the same time, one of the best things that happened to me, it's actually shout out to one of my friend Nico, because I always wanted, you know, when I become a father, I want to fully heal my, you know, insecurities and everything. So I don't want to pass to my child, you know. I don't want him to carry my traumas.
That's right.
Because I still felt like sometimes I'm being too insecure. And my friend Nico, like, the same week when I find out that I'm pregnant, my wife is pregnant, he taught me his meditation style, you know, and it's called transcendental meditation.
And
so basically what he does, because I've been meditating prior to that 7 years, you know, and but his meditation was very different, and I was a little bit skeptical. another meditation method, what else to try. So his meditation, basically, he gives this initiation in that meditation, and then like he gives you a mantra that is specifically for you, that is from Sanskrit,
Okay.
and you basically, when you meditate, you repeat this mantra over and over again in your mind. Just repeat it and allow it to fade it down. I've done this meditation every single day. I haven't missed a day, until now. I'm still meditating, and I've done healing for the 7 years prior that, but in those 8 months, I had more healing than in my last 9 months.
Wow.
I understood my emotions deeper, because like sometimes as a man, it's hard to understand your emotions.
Yeah.
But this taught me to accept deeply what I feel, and kind of, as soon as somebody triggers me now, straight away I feel it very exactly in my body.
I've gotten into these things lately.
Yeah.
And when somebody tries to tell me that, okay, where do you feel it? But I'm not able to feel it anywhere in my body. It just, I remember that.
Yeah.
It's in my brain, but I can't feel it yet in
Yeah.
my body.
Well, when it's in your brain, the trigger already affected you, because when you're being triggered, some trauma inside of you is being triggered, and then if you become a victim of that trauma, you get into the head. You start being angry. It's like, I want to sabotage someone now. But like now, when I get, okay, there's somebody said something to me that I didn't like, and I felt it here, and I use word interesting, a lot. Interesting, because this word doesn't have a judgment.
Yeah.
So you give yourself permission to feel that trigger, but at the same time being super conscious. Okay, this emotion made me this situation made me to feel a little bit angry. Okay, interesting. And then you kind of feel, and you put it in a box instead of allowing yourself to become a victim of the anger.
Yeah.
You just put it, okay, this situation, I learned something. Next time I'm gonna set my boundary, or I'm gonna acknowledge, or I'm gonna meditate, or I'm gonna a journal about it. Just that acknowledgement that you feel, it helps you to release the emotion at the same time. Emotions is everything. Emotions is everything. Your success lies in your emotions. Your confidence lies in your emotions. If you wanna feel abundant, you need to feel sadness, you need to feel anger, you need to feel, guilt, shame. It all comes to the package. You cannot just choose emotions, what you want to feel, what you don't want to feel.
Yeah.
Feel everything.
Yeah.
Flow with those emotions. Not try to control your emotions, but flow. And that's how you master your state of being.
Yeah, and you don't have to judge when you're doing so.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you just have to keep on acknowledging it.
Exactly. I read the book, The Power of Now. And in that book said, the deeper your roots going inside of your body, the more present you become. And it can go so deep that you understand where it been triggered. It's all about putting your awareness there.
And what's the cheat code to get deeper into your body?
Meditation.
Yeah.
I also have a practices where I do when I bring men in the in the group.
Yeah.
And then we do a somatic work combined with breathwork, combined with voice activation, combined with movement, and it's just we do those movements. We raw, in a group, and some men comes there. They're feeling a little bit insecure, and they're just feeling a little bit suppressed.
Yeah.
But some men that are confident, and when I ask them to scream, the confident one screams from the gut, and then the shy one sees it, okay, and it encourages them to scream louder, and then eventually they end up screaming beyond their minds. And when you scream beyond their minds, you naturally go into your body. You start feel all these insecurities is just being released. You break free from your limiting beliefs, your self-doubts, your all the ego walls that you build. So it's such a beautiful activation, and you see the result immediately. One session like this can put you in such a present, confident state. Once you feel the presence, the confidence, it's your drug that you're gonna chase for the rest of your life.
Yeah, I mean, that's something new about shouting, because so far shouting in my head is okay, you just shout. but it's like you're breaking free when
Yeah.
you go deeper to your gut.
Exactly, because
Yeah.
when you ask somebody shout, it's like, what is people gonna think about me? So you end up like a shouting, but controlling your scream.
Yes.
In that group, you come there, you scream,
Yeah.
like, and if you're not gonna scream, you're gonna be point out.
Yeah.
You go
Yeah.
higher,
Louder.
increase some volume,
Louder.
and then eventually you let go. You scream, and then you feel like
Yeah.
something
So
really
that's
left
the
your body.
first step to letting it go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
screaming. It's a cheat code, that like like so many times I
Yeah.
drive the car and I'm like end up screaming.
Yeah.
It's the best place to scream.
No one's gonna hear.
Yeah,
You just
because
put the music on loud.
yeah, it's just like I feel like so much in my head and I'm like triggered, and it releases. It's a somatic. It's a somatic work. It's a healthy
Nice.
emotional
Yes, yes.
expression.
I'm definitely gonna try this now.
You're gonna love it.
So, Julius, in your work with ARC and talking about masculinity, what are the 3 most common problems you see high performing men struggling with these days?
I do believe that being prioritizing their health. There are people that I know that are famous, that working hard, like they love what they do, but they don't prioritize, their sleep, their diet, and the training, like drinking too much coffee,
Yeah.
overstimulating, yourself, because like if you keep pushing that, eventually you have first you're gonna be way too much in your head,
That's right.
but like overstimulation is just gonna make you do, and you end up with a lot of forcing. And there's a saying, that you can apply everywhere. Like love is like a fart. If you force it, it's probably shit.
Yeah.
But it's the same as everything. If you force, things to happen, it's just gonna be shit.
Yeah. You talk about masculinity as well. So,
Yeah.
do you think that's an issue these days?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the health is prioritizing your health, mental health,
Yeah.
and also here I remember one thing, that bypassing is when it comes to, for example, when somebody gets into healing, as well, journey, or taking care of themselves, they kind of, and I was stuck in that as well, to bypass what they're feeling. Like you can do breath work, which breath work helps you to let go a lot of emotions.
Yeah.
But if you do a breath work and you're like, I'm gonna repeat affirmation, I'm confident, I'm present, I'm like I'm a high achiever, you're not gonna acknowledge what is holding you back from not feeling that naturally. Because being present, like the breath work practices, the meditation practice is about like putting you in the present moment and to feel what's there. And we usually suppress a lot of, we scroll, we overwork. Overworking is the biggest suppression for men, when it comes to high achievers.
Yeah.
Like not good enough, and the
Yeah.
part of you is like tries to prove something.
Yeah.
And even though you have a lot of money, you still feel it's not good enough.
Yeah.
You're
and
being
always
driven
seek that
from
external validation.
exactly to have more, to prove yourself, to compete. That's a big one, I would say.
So, what's the biggest myth about masculinity these days?
That emotions are weakness.
Yeah.
Yeah, emotions are weaknesses. Like statistically, proven that women starting to earn more money in USA than a man.
Yeah.
Because men looking for success in different areas.
That's right.
Like they're forcing. They have this like they've been taught that you need to be provider and everything, and so they disconnect from their emotions, and they're just grinding, forcing, and everything. While women, naturally, they're so good on feeling their emotions. Your emotions is the key for presence,
That's right.
for success, for longevity, for feeling. If you learn how to feel your emotions, you starting to feel the inner guidance. I do believe that we all have this inner guidance that guides us where we want to be in life. Because some things, for example, makes you feel excited. you know, and that excitement, like you, for example, you love doing podcasts. It excites you,
Yeah.
you know, and you chasing that excitement.
Yeah.
And that's where it becomes you love what you're doing. You're not forcing. You challenges you love it, you know, you grow out of it, you see the improvement, you see the what kind of people you bring in. You're creating impact.
That's right.
You know, and it excites you, you know. And a lot of people, like, when they don't feel their emotions, they're just money. They can do anything to earn money, and they really disconnect from that excitement, and eventually they end up burned out. You know, they have everything there on the top, but they're not happy, you know, because the excitement is gonna bring you to fulfillment,
Right.
and fulfillment is what you want to chase for real. Like, even though, you know, I created e-commerce brand, I've gained so much experience. I had so many friends like that has e-commerce brand. They said, like, bro, I give you 50% of my shares, please help me to scale it. And I said, no, I don't want that. You know, I don't want to start another brand where I can earn money. I want to do something I love to do now.
Right.
Coaching is something that lights my spirit, you know, and I love to chase that. You know, I love to improve, and I love to give people, you know, making people smile.
When I moved to Dubai, I was working like 12 hours a day as a tennis coach on court. So it's like physical and mental work at the same time, because you're not just being there physically. You have to crack everybody's brain because everybody have their own ways of learning, you know. I mean, I was 100% exhausted, but the time I was going to the bed, I felt so complete, just because that 15 minutes of my time brought happiness in their life, you know.
Yeah.
Because, okay, so this guy's been struggling with their forehand for so long, and I just fixed it in like 5 minutes. I'm like, okay, dude, you're doing this wrong.
Yeah.
And the moment they fixed it, they were like, oh my god.
Yeah.
And it was so easy. It was just right there, but I was not able to tap in.
Yeah.
So that, I mean, I have also been chasing this happiness through others. If I can make others happy, I feel more fulfilled, rather than just me chasing what I want.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And this is beautiful. It's a drug.
Yeah, it's a drug.
You know, when I see somebody's like struggling on a street and really struggling, like has no arm or no legs, you know, or something, like, for me, it's just like, if I have money, I cash with me, I'm definitely gonna give them.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just helping someone. Like, I have a cleaners coming up to clean our garden. You know, there's some guys, you know, that like I can see super poor. You know, they just work for like make for the bread.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know, like always making coffee for them. You know, I always, like, if I have extra food from some event, I'll be just making them like a nice lunch. It's just that part of giving and not expecting something back. It's like, it boosts your self-esteem.
Yeah.
It boosts your self-esteem. And the more you do that, you know, the more you're going to feel good about yourself. The more you feel good about yourself, the more better you're going to do in life.
That thing only got me into thinking like, okay, how can I make this impact bigger? Because right now I'm just restricted to tennis. Okay, how can I make this impact bigger? And that's when the idea of podcasting came in. I'm like, okay, I can talk to inspiring people, you know, who can pass down their wisdom. I can pass down my wisdom, and people can learn through us and feel that impact. How to live a good and fulfilling life.
It's so beautiful. Like, and I definitely, like, I have so much respect for people who does podcasts. You know, there's so many podcasts like that are talking about different things, you know, but like, I do feel like, because you're interested in people who has impact, you know, and to like these kind of podcasts, I feel a lot of respect. You know?
Because I felt that somebody has taught me when I was young. So I'm just doing it for my younger versions who are in the world, to fast forward their life, and they don't end up wasting their 10 years or 15 years in something. So,
beautiful.
You mentioned about people, they don't acknowledge what they feel, the emotions. They get into this toxic positivity, where they're just affirming good, they're feeling good, but they're not feeling the emotions that have been trapped, and they have been compounding over the year of time.
Exactly.
So I totally agree with what you said, that first you need to acknowledge
Yeah.
and feel those emotions.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, like I think toxic positivity is it's a good way to say when I spoke about bypassing,
exactly.
because toxic positivity you can feel you if you want to be confident, you know, you maybe gonna take drugs to feel more confident, you drink alcohol to feel confident,
That's right.
you're gonna like before going to, let's say, job interview, you're gonna be standing in a mirror, I'm confident, I'm confident, you know, looking at yourself, I'm confident no matter what. And then you come in the meeting, smile, you know.
Yeah.
I always smile. You know, I just always smile. And instead of trying to understand what is holding you back from feeling natural confidence, because confidence, it is your natural state.
Yeah.
When you're born as a kid, you did not give a shit, you know, who you're going to introduce yourself, you know, like you were loud, you were crying, you were expressing yourself, you know, you were the most authentic version of yourself. You can still learn how to be that version,
Right.
because that version is just being present.
Yeah.
All you need to do is to acknowledge what is holding you back from being present, you know, because when you're present, all the problems fades away.
Yeah.
If somebody triggers you, if you feel anger, you notice,
Yeah.
you know, you acknowledge, you know, you don't become a victim of anger.
right.
You know, you don't start smashing. It's like, I feel anger.
Yeah.
I love that emotion, you know, because anger has a lot of positivity as well. It boosts your productivity.
Yeah, you just need to direct it in the right direction.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And instead of judging yourself, instead of like suppressing it, yeah, you just allow yourself to flow with it.
Yeah. So everyone's talking about biohacking these days. How is what you're doing with ARC with Sweden is different than the others?
First of all, when I started this brand, I didn't even know what word biohacking means. You know, it just came later on in life.
Yeah.
Biohacking, it fits perfectly into longevity space.
Yeah.
What I would say that this product helps you to like this breathing supplement. It's not a device that can numb your like you know, pain, because I do feel like in the biohacking space there's a lot of people like coming overweight, you know, chasing next thing, you know, biohack, next new biohack, new device, what to kind of buy it, what to invest their money so they can numb something inside, but they're fully disconnected from their body. You know, and my product, you know, once you try arc drops, like you feel it wakes up your breathing.
Yeah.
You know, and the breathing is the essential for your longevity, is the best biohack you have, you know, because let's say you have 11 major systems in the body: your nervous system, you know, your cardiovascular system, your digestive system, your metabolic system. All the systems, 11 systems, can get affected if your breathing becomes imbalanced. Once your breathing becomes shallow, your whole system becomes wrong, you know. Once you improve your breathing, your whole health improves.
Yeah. So your focus is on breathing.
A lot.
Which every one of us, we do like 20,000 times a day.
We think that breathing is like we just something do like automatic. We don't think about it.
Yeah.
But like, you know, when we're stressed, we breathe through the mouth.
Yeah.
When we're overworking, when we're sleeping, you know, we don't notice how much we breathe through the mouth.
Yeah.
You know, and when we breathe through the mouth, we hyperventilate, you know, because we have a noses to breathe, and we need to use our noses properly, because when we breathe through the nose, we produce nitric oxide, and nitric oxide is the most important gas for humans.
Okay.
You know, it's your antivirus, antibacterial, it's your, you know, it helps, you know, to heal all the disease. It boosts your libido at the same time. It calms your nervous system down. But when we breathe through the mouth, you know, we don't produce. We hyperventilate.
So what do you mean by hyperventilate? It's like shorter breaths?
Yeah, like hyperventilation is because you remove too much CO2 from your body, you know, and you have way too much oxygen in your body. And CO2 and O2, it needs to be balanced. Once it's too much O2 in your body, your nervous system gets stressed. You tap into the sympathetic nervous system, which is action taking,
Yeah.
always action taking. And
Like
your
fight or flight mode.
exactly.
Yeah.
You rest, digest, everything becomes like your sleeping becomes
Yeah.
shallow. But if you learn how to breathe correctly through the nose, which is I teach a lot on my brand as well. And when I'm standing in summits, when I'm giving people the products, they say like, oh, I cannot breathe from one side. It's like people don't know like anything about it. You're not supposed to breathe from both sides at the same
Yeah.
time. You switch. Sometimes you breathe from that. Sometimes you breathe from that. In the evening, you're gonna breathe from this one because it activates your parasympathetic nervous system.
Yeah.
And I've learned so much about the breathing that I know that this is one of the best biohacks we have, and it's for free.
Yeah. That's something which can bring you presence also at the same time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
When we stressed, where we overthinking, we can ground ourselves in the moment. But people say like when you're so much up here, you start breathing. Am I doing correctly? Am I not?
Yeah.
But inhaling and fully surrendering into your breath, it's a hack. Because when I started to become a breath master, I was doing a Wim Hof method and I was hyperventilating a lot and I just got so high and I felt like, oh, so good. It's like, felt like, oh yeah, I feel so much better. I have more energy, but I hyperventilate. Now for me, it's enough to take one breath and I can feel more grounded
Relaxation.
than doing the whole Wim Hof method.
Yeah.
And there is a people, actually, the deep tantra coaches and everything, they can get orgasm from one breath. Imagine the level of surrender, of presence they can achieve with one breath. They can have an orgasm.
Yeah.
So beautiful.
Yeah. And that orgasm, of course, is not the usual orgasm.
No, it's
like a full body orgasm.
full body
in the brain.
orgasm. Yeah, like
Yeah.
it's not ejaculating.
So, what's it's like building a business with family and with a twin brother?
Oh, that's a good question. And it's not easy, I would say, because, when you have a colleagues, you just speak business to them. But when it's a family, you feel right to say more than actually it is.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of argument. All of us, we do so much inner work at the same time.
Yeah.
Because I do believe that building your company, it's a lot of spiritual work,
Yeah.
especially if you do it family.
Family, yeah.
Because in the beginning we were fighting, we were like, you don't do enough, you don't do enough,
Yeah.
and we all have equal shares, and it was so much fighting. Now we come to the place that like understand each other.
Yeah.
We don't react, we respond more. Sometimes it gets mini arguments,
Yeah.
but yeah. And I feel it's so amazing, like when it's family, they understand. Like now I'm becoming a father, they understand that I'm gonna be a little bit off, maybe
Yeah.
doing less for the first months, until I learn how to sleep properly.
Yeah.
And so it's a lot of compassion at the same time, because we're family, we understand, we're supporting each other. So that's the side I really appreciate.
Yeah. So how you mentioned about the relationship, you guys were of course having fight in the beginning.
Yeah.
How did that made you feel in the beginning, and now how is it going?
It was so many times we were like, every single one of us wanted to give up. My brother was like, I'm never gonna do work with your wife anymore, never ever. And I'm never gonna work with my twin brother. It was definitely deep belief I never gonna work with my brothers anymore. Yeah, and now like we're starting a new brand as well. All of us four.
Yeah.
Like we're taking success formula, what we applied on Arc of Sweden, and because we also have 500,000 leads, and a lot of these leads is like probably ghost leads that like somebody bought our product, maybe they didn't like it, and like I don't like this brand.
Yeah.
And we have these leads. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna create a new brand, like it's also for longevity, for something, for biohacking.
Yeah.
And with all the experience, the branding, we have a team, marketing teams, everything. We give people a little bit shares to them, so they can do the work, and we're just invest, and we transfer our leads as well there, so we can just kick off that one.
Wow. this is how you convert the failures into and learn a lesson through it. Like how you just mentioned right now that
Yeah.
this product didn't work out for someone, but you still
Yeah.
have those leads,
Yeah.
and you're gonna launch a new product and use that product to
Yeah.
get those clients as well again.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, even though my company goes to bankruptcy, like I feel safe
Yeah.
because I have 500,000 leads that I
Yeah.
can use it on any, because you know, once you buy the product, you automatically agree on our terms and conditions. Yeah, and then like I can still 500,000 leads. It's like it's people pay so much money for
Yeah.
that. I can
That's
just
right.
sell it.
You already have the database.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
And all that database is just gonna be success from beginning for the new brand.
So I wanted to ask you, next question is that how do you balance the pressure of being an entrepreneur and preparing to become a father now?
Inner work for me is my priority. You know, inner work, health is definitely my priority. It's being super disciplined, because coming to Dubai, for example, like I met people who like overstimulate, they work hard, you know, and they saying that Dubai is so hard, it's like so hard to like survive this. You need to go to holiday once in a while. But if you don't have a discipline,
Yeah.
if you don't have priority of your health, you will burn out here. Because it's a lot happening. It's so many events. Every single week I'm invited to so many events. When I have a discipline, I like regulate my nervous system. I can feel which event is going to be exactly I need to go right now.
Yeah, which aligns
You
with
know,
me.
it's aligns with me. You know, I check, I feel, you know, this kind of people. Yeah, there I want to meet this kind of people. It aligns, and at the same time, like I know becoming a father is gonna be hard.
Yeah.
In beginning, especially. All depends. Maybe in the later days as well, because kid can end up like crying a lot through their
Yeah.
childhood. And I had friends where they had a baby and they've been crying and crying and crying and crying. But as I said, that outsourcing as much as I do right now in my company, just to be as present as I can with my kid.
Yeah.
You know, and I do want to give so much love for my kid, because this is something that I know my father did his best is
Yeah.
could. You know, he did best it could. He loved me and everything, but he was not present.
Yeah.
He was not present, you know, and this is something that I really miss, you know, from my childhood.
Yeah.
Like, for example, my older brother, we have a different father. And when he's born, like even mostly my aunts and my grandmother was raising him, and he did not have a father present with him. But like the way he is with his kid, for me, it's like, fuck, that's amazing. That's so
Yeah.
beautiful, you know, because some people can feel that maybe this, it's unfair. You know, I did not have children, you know, and it's unconsciously they not being present for their children.
Yeah.
Like they did not get present from their parents, I mean. And so yeah, seeing my brother being like this to his kid, even though he had no father, for me is so inspiring.
Yeah.
And it just wakes up that motivation.
Yeah. I mean, this is so inspiring to hear as well, that instead of playing victim here or, you know, pointing it out, you guys are like, you are just trying to fill in that void by giving more love.
Yeah,
And I think love is the biggest power in this world,
it is the
which
biggest.
will make you feel fulfilled.
Yeah, I do believe love is God.
Yeah.
You know, for me, love is God. And I had a journey on plant medicine where it fully opened my heart. And for the first time in my life, I felt this unconditional love. I remember it was this plant medicine. I had some people in front of me, and you know, sometimes you have a small judgments around the people.
Yeah.
Like you see where they at in their life. They should do this. They should do this. They would become better. You have those judgments around
Yeah.
people. But when it opened my heart, I look at those people. They're perfect, and I'm crying. I'm looking at them. They're so perfect. Who am I to judge them? I judge them because I compare them to myself. It's like I know better,
Yeah.
you know. But at the same time, God created them perfectly. They know He knows exactly. I call God He. I don't know why. He knows exactly you know, their life,
Yeah.
their purpose, you know, and I'm trying to think that I know better.
And yeah, I think that's insecurity where we start judging people. That's insecurity in us because people are the mirror of us.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
yeah. So,
exactly.
yeah.
That was so much reflection back, you know,
Yeah.
to see that judgment. It's like, who am I to judge them? Who am I? It's like, I know better, you know. Probably if I would have exactly the same experiences that they had in life, I would do the same things that they do,
Yeah.
you know. It's like, it's just like that my path was different. I think I know better. No, you know, I'm probably failing on many other things, you know,
That's
and
right.
they know better. So who am I to compare myself?
Yeah.
Yeah. And this acknowledgement, the judgment part, it was such a big in my life, you know, because I felt exactly where this judgment is in my body, and I did so much work to release it. Yeah.
So, what advice would you give to an high performing man who's struggling with his identity, who's caught up in this transition of becoming an entrepreneur and at the same time going to become a father? What advice you would give to them?
I would say prioritize your health. And when I say prioritize your health, is if you feel lost, if you feel stuck, if you feel so much in your head, disconnected, you have low energy, it could be maybe you need to check your hormone levels. You know, check your hormone levels. How is your testosterone? You know, how is your, I just, if you your testosterone can show you how much, you know, you're doing in life. Because you know, if you feel low testosterone, your health could be, you know, like there's a reason why it is, you know. And then like maybe there's some diet that you can change, because a lot of people, they don't understand what they eat. Like they fry everything on seed oils.
Yeah.
Seed oil is one of the biggest killer for men's testosterone. You know, they don't sleep good enough. That's another biggest killer for testosterone. Like adjust those things, you know, testosterone levels goes higher, you know, you start feel more driven, you start feel naturally more disciplined.
Yeah.
You know, you start feel naturally that you want to go work out, express yourself, and then you start investing in your body. And when you start investing in your body, as I said, you know, the presence is being in a body, observing your body, learning. You start work out, you start do breathwork, maybe start do yoga, meditations, and naturally becoming more present.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like if you stuck over things, you know, and judges themselves all the time, they just continuously creating new patterns of overthinking.
It's better that you just look inside yourself,
Yeah.
work on your inner self,
Yeah.
and get some movement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also have a coach, you know.
Yeah.
Could
Who
be
can guide
could
you.
be therapists, you know. I do believe that a lot of women especially, you know, things that men they just should do therapy.
Yeah.
But I do believe that therapy is only just one tool that we have. You know, they're just gonna go analyze what's wrong, and it can take years to do that.
Yeah.
But coach is gonna help you to set up your disciplines. You know, he's gonna help you to set up the time for you to meditate, your sleeping schedules.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I do. You know, I help people to understand what they do in their lives. You know, they maybe overstimulate. There maybe, you know, like like some diets and everything, and I just help them to, you know, find a balance in life.
Yeah.
Find a balance.
Yeah, I mean, the coach plays the role. Like, you have to have a coach because he will be accountable for your actions then.
Yeah,
That
exactly.
you are not, I mean, you are not fighting alone then. You have someone who's like there, standing behind you to push you.
Yeah, and people think that paying money for the coach,
Yeah.
this is the best thing you can do. To
100%.
pay money for the coach, because
Yes.
as soon as you pay money to the coach, you automatically making yourself accountable.
Yeah.
Because like you don't want your money to be wasted.
That's
So
right.
whatever coach is gonna tell you to do, you will do it. I love to be obsessed with people's life when I coach them. You know, so they feel like I have one guy that is a proper gamer, you know. He's like took his gaming, you know, to professionally. He's like a top 10 in the world.
Wow.
And for me it's like interesting to go and see how he's playing games, you know, to how he streams, how he's like making money, how he strives, because he built all this fame, all this success. And it's like, of course I want to get to know him. Like there's a part of me that also played, when I was kid gaming. I love that, so I just, of course, I want to get to know him when he's in action as well.
Yeah.
And then from that you can become more friend with him, you understand him better. So
Yeah. And it's not just spending money, it's like a investment on your future self.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's proper investment. It's not like a cost. It's an investment.
Yeah. So Julius, what's one thing every man should know about breathing and energy that could change their performance today?
We have this unlimited source of energy within ourselves. We have this energy that we can achieve anything we want. And breathing can help you to calm your nervous system down and access that energy easier. And when you access that energy easier, like you tend to trust your gut feeling more, your intuition more, you start feel that you're guided. You start getting visions into your breathwork sessions.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you start taking the right action. Like once you start doing something that you really love, it unlocks that unlimited source of energy.
Yeah.
You don't come back from work, it's like, oh, I feel burned out, I have kids. It's like, you will be so present for your kids. You will be so present when you work out. You will be so happy as soon as you wake up. As soon as you start do the things that you love to do in life, you unlock that natural energy, that unlimited source of energy that is gonna make you to thrive, to achieve your best results. And could be also meditations as well. Not only breathwork. Like for example, if somebody is overstimulating their life, I would recommend them to meditate more than breathe, because breathwork can be another escape. It's like chasing this high, chasing this guy. Somebody was drinking, like energy drinks all the time, and as soon as they stop and they need energy, then they're chasing energy from there. But then meditation is gonna calm down your nervous system, and you start feeling that, naturally. But if you ask me about the breathing, just like how to adjust your breathing, like for example, I used to be a mouth breather before. Like I was, and I didn't notice this until I started to get into breath. I noticed that every single morning I wake up, my mouth is like desert. It's so dry. And I just need water to drink. Even in the night I wake up, I drink a lot of water, and it's so dry. And then when I started to learn about mouth breathing, and they said like 90% people actually, they don't even understand how they breathe during the night. And let's say a heart attack, it's the biggest cause of death in the world right now. Heart attacks. And mostly heart attacks happens between 4 to 7 a.m. People overnight, they overbreathe during the mouth. They don't produce nitric oxide. They don't keep their nervous system calm, and it increases their chances to have heart attacks because they overbreathe. They hyperventilate. They have too much oxygen. They don't allow the body to get deep rest. Because it's always on stress. And that causes them, increases big chances of heart attacks. And for me, what I do in the night, I always we sell on Arc of Sweden mouth tape. You put it mouth tape during the night, and you always breathe through the nose.
That forces you to
It
automatically breathe from your
and
nose.
if you feel like you can't breathe properly through the nose, we have a nose strips.
Wow.
It expands the airways, and it's fully open here and close here, even though you have a little hole that you can breathe, or if you want to drink water as well, you can put straw through that. And it's one of the biggest biohacks. You're fixing your breathing while you're sleeping. You're increasing your health while you're sleeping. If you're mouth breather, because I was, that's how I fixed, went from mouth breathing to nose breathing. Because the more you breathe through the nose, your nostrils expands, and your hair closes. So, you naturally become nose breather more, because the more you breathe through the mouth, the more you become mouth breather. And mouth breathing is affects your jaw shape, you know, it affects all the
Your
structure,
teeth.
face
Yes,
structure,
the whole structure. That's right.
everything. And it's affects all the 11 major systems.
Yeah. But it's so great to hear, man, that how you used to breathe.
Yeah.
Like you were a mouth breather. You first fixed yourself and you built a whole brand around it.
Yeah.
And it's all, everything is just complementing each other.
Yeah.
Like how to first open up your lungs, having that arc of Sweden syrup, and then having a mouth tape
Yeah.
to stop you from mouth breathing during the night.
Exactly.
And then you have this nose strip
Yeah.
to open up your nostrils.
Yeah.
It's so great, man. I
Yeah.
mean, how you just one product over another to complement each other.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I do believe, you know, what you love to do, that's probably your key where you should lead to maybe succeed as well.
Yeah.
You know, just focus what you love to do and you will achieve success there.
That's
Like, for
right.
example, my posture was completely destroyed.
Yeah.
When I was barber and I have a scoliosis, it's like almost scoliosis, but different. You know, my shoulders was like this, you know,
Yeah.
super forward. My back was so round. I was sitting always like this,
Yeah.
you know. And I've done yoga, I've done a lot of weightlifting, I've done a lot of different therapies. Nothing really helped me to fix my posture. And then I started to get videos on my social media about fascia. Fascia is the key to fix your posture. And I'm like, interesting. And I started to save all these videos, save, but never do those exercises. And then one day, like my back was hurting so much. You know what? Maybe I should start studying about that fascia more and then try to implement in my life. And somehow, from no reason, like I just, you know what? I'm gonna go on 100-day challenge and I'm gonna do it on social media and I'm gonna announce that like for 100 days I'm gonna study fascia, and whatever I study I'm gonna implement, and the goal is to fix my posture. That was the only goal, to fix my posture. And I went on TikTok, I started doing this and posting and everything, learning. Somewhere like day 30 my back pain completely disappeared. I was doing on YouTube, I doing like a ChatGPT on different accounts, like taking some mini courses from people, just like learning as much as I could and implementing everything on my fascia journey, you know, to improve my posture. And then like my TikTok started take off.
Wow.
You know, it started to get like, I got like 150,000 followers. You know, people like texting me, how you're training, what you're doing, where you're learning and everything. Maybe I should create some program.
Yeah.
You know, and I just created 2 mini programs, like selling super cheap, like $12, $22. But I made $10,000
Wow.
from those 2 things,
Yeah.
you know. And then like the whole challenge finished, I posted my results. It was incredible.
Wow.
You know, I adjusted my posture, you know, of course not 100%. There's some things, you know, that I need to I still want to improve. Going from knowing nothing about fascia and having so much knowledge, like when I work out now, I know exactly how I need to work out. And my goal was only to fix my posture.
Yeah.
You know, it was only to fix posture, but I got 150,000 followers on my TikTok.
Wow.
I learned so much about fascia. I know exactly how I need to train myself. I also got $10,000 from selling my mini courses, you know, and at the same time, it improved my discipline.
Wow.
You know, I proved myself that I can achieve. That builds a lot of self-trust, you know.
And that is the key to build trust through social media and, you know, build trust in the audience.
Exactly. When you set a goal, you know, you have one outcome, but once you achieve that goal, you have so much more that you haven't expected. You know, it improves your discipline, your trust, and everything, you know, in the way you build company maybe even.
Right.
You know,
that's really inspiring, man. And okay, so for last question for our podcast, so what's a myth about your field you wish more people knew about?
Interesting question. Like I always like to answer questions like how I wish I would knew. I would say failure is the biggest lesson for me. Like embrace imperfections like as we all being so perfectionist, you know,
Yeah.
we're afraid to fail. We need to do everything so perfectly. And like, because, you know, in beginning, I also had so much fear in doing this, you know, like e-commerce and everything. It's just like, I kind of like, just like was so enough of my life and I want to do it. But of course, I was struggling with those fears and like I still sometimes struggle, you know, but like I know how to remind myself that failure is one of the best. Like, for example, now talking with you on this podcast about the failure, I just reminded deeper to myself. Just embrace failure. There's no self-made millionaire,
Yeah.
you know, without failures. There's no people who achieve big success in life that they haven't failed.
Yeah.
They always fail, but they all like also learn from other people's failures.
Yeah.
You know, because people who failed, they tend to share their wisdom, not knowledge, wisdom. You know, because wisdom is what comes from experience, from knowing, and not from just, you know, learning something
Yeah.
from the books. When it comes to building businesses, building success, I would say don't overthink and just do it.
Yeah.
Because the more you think, the more you know, the less chances you're gonna do it. But I never went to university, you know, I was just like a street smart. I see opportunity, let's go, you know. And I learned through my failures, even though it was scary, even though like now if I would go back, I would say, because I never went to university, maybe I would go to university. But I would go to university to study exactly what I want to do, you know, at the same time taking some job experience to like you know, getting experience in everything. Because my wife, you know, she studied economics, she worked for a year in a company, and then when we started, like I didn't know anything about businesses. I was just super driven. You know, I had this energy that like I know one day I'm gonna be an entrepreneur, you know, because my father was as well, and I was like, I had this naturally. You know, my wife was more into 9 to 5, but like she got that from me, you know, to go chase the dreams, like feel she's super driven, you know, but like she just needed to improve her belief, which I helped her, you know. She helped me with confidence, I helped her with in believing in her dreams, that you can achieve it, you know. And then she was applying everything on Arc of Sweden, and it just made so much easier for all of us. And she's such a master was like when it comes to those things, like structures and everything, you know. Like usually we men are structure, but she was the structure. You know.
Yeah, women brings the structure in men's life.
Yeah,
That's how it is.
exactly.
But thank you so much, Julius, today for sharing your wisdom. I'm really grateful that
Thank you so
you
much.
came here and shared your whole journey with us.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
Yeah.
I really, really feel aligned with you as well. You know, you're what you're doing as well, and you're a great guy. I enjoyed so much, and really, really thank you for giving me this opportunity.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Julius.
Thank you, brother.